Guys, today we'll be taking a look at NIO. Now, NIO is an electric vehicle company based out of China, and they've been in the news a lot recently because their recent activity. As we can see, in the past year, they've been up 1,600%. Crazy. So they did have a price target of $40, which today they've actually just broken above. And this is a very strong stock, in my opinion. As we can see, they have had a couple run ups and then a little bit less activity, and this has happened a couple times. Although, right now, we're in a current run up, and this is because a lot of these people who are buying the stock are buy and hold type investors. There's not a lot of selling off, and when there is, it's just a lot of short term traders that don't affect the stock price too much in the long term, as we can say. And big hedge funds are starting to now invest in NEO and give them some credibility where they are due. Now, I wanted to look at this because NEO is, in a lot of senses, the Tesla competitor. Now, Tesla is the closest thing that we really have to NIO. NIO is fully electric. I know that some other brands such as Porsche, BMW, Audi, they're all coming out with their own electric vehicles, as well as Ford and GM. Although NIO is very different than those mainstream ones because of their autopilot, their OS system, their AI system, and their battery as a service. Now, if I go up here, battery as a service, Tesla themselves don't even have this. Now, when you buy a NIO car, you have an option to buy it without the battery, and you can essentially rent it for $140 per month. Now, this will take off $10,000 off of the purchase price. And this is a good option for people who might be looking to own the car for under 5 years. So moving on, their EC6 model right here, as see on screen, is the first crossover in China, and it's actually outperforming the Model Y. Now, a crossover is in between a real SUV and, say, a sedan. The Model Y is Tesla's crossover, and Tesla is actually still building their gigafactory in Shanghai. So NIO has essentially a first mover's advantage in that market in China currently. And they've been all over the news. So again, NIO is first right now. Now they do have the ES8, their SUV model per se, in the ES6. Now they have been in talks about coming out with a sedan. And I think that will be a big success on their part because the only real competitors in the sedan market are Tesla at this point. There has been some other sedans, although they have not been wildly successful, such as the Model 3, wildly successful for Tesla. And they've been making a lot of money off their services. They have NIO House, NIO Power, and of course, as I just said, NIO Services, as well as they're trying to get into what's called Formula E. Formula E is their racing division, and this is how they get their name as more of a luxury model, or a luxury brand per se. So they're much different than someone like BYD in the electric vehicle space in China. They're more of a quote unquote consumer car and not in the luxury market per se. Now NIO has had some signs of a lot of people shorting. They do have, I want to say, 60 million shares that are shorted at the moment, although that is about 5 to 6% of the outstanding shares. Now, what I think would be very interesting is a short squeeze in the near future where a lot of these short sellers are actually pressured because the stock continues, or the share price continues to rise, in which they have to buy back these shares to give to the lenders of those shares, and then that will help surge the price up even further. As we can see here, NIO is actually worth just as much as GM. This is again another sign that EVs are taking over. As we've seen, Tesla in the past year up 700+%. Now, BYD, I mentioned earlier, is also part of the electric car boom in China, as well as XPEV. Now, these stocks are quite hot in America at the moment, surging up quite a lot. As you can see here, Citi also rose their uh, price target to 46.40, which is big news because now people are seeing more value in this stock per se. So they did just record 5K or $5,000. 5,000 cars delivered in October, and this is a first for NIO. Now, this is massive news because now they're starting to be able to produce vehicles to the demand of the consumers, and 5,000 cars does not seem like a lot, especially in comparison to BYD. They delivered 23,000 cars, although again, as I mentioned earlier, NIO is trying to establish themselves in the luxury market, so they have a lower production rate as well, but this is because of their focuses on the battery, their AI, their software, very similar to Tesla. They're higher quality. Now, NIO currently has a market cap of around $41 billion. 43 to be exact. This has changed. I mean, their price or their share price keeps on surging up, and compared to Tesla at a 400 billion, I don't know if they will be able to reach the heights of current Tesla. Although I think that they can take a lot of market share. So as we just looking at that, this could be a very good investment. Many analysts are bullish on NIO, and they did just break above their $40 resistance point. They have been bouncing off of it, and it was quite an issue, and they actually just broke above it today or yesterday late evening. So this could be a sign of some more growth for the company because that was acting as a ceiling. Now, hopefully, it could act as a support and help gain traction for more growth. And they have been surging up even more recently in talks of European expansion. Now, Europe is a massive market for EV vehicles. They will have their home base in Copenhagen, Denmark, and they will be the first electric vehicle with a full SUV in Europe, which is big because they, again, like first movers advantage. The only thing that I would have to say about Europe really would be look at the success of Tesla's Model 3 in Europe. They have made a lot of money in that market recently, and I think that NIO can do the same in their own respect. Now, I would keep a close eye on NIO. I mean, they've been surging up a lot, and I don't see any slowdown in the near future. And of course, in the long term, I think EVs are the future, and we will see how they exactly go. They have not reported Q3 earnings quite yet, although I am bullish on those, especially because of their deliveries of vehicles and the manufacturing. So let me know down in the comments if you like NIO, if you're bullish on NIO, or if you're bearish on NIO, you think they're overvalued, or even the entire electric vehicle market at the moment is overvalued. I mean, it is quite concerning how valuable a company such as Tesla is and NIO compared to more traditional car manufacturers like GM. But it is something to keep an eye on, and would I say it's necessarily a buy right now? I don't know, but I am bullish on it, I would say. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.